Hey everybody, hey Doug, hey all two of you. Let people know that day 11 of the Oktoberfest or Hallow streaming is going on. Sorry about the loud noise in the background. I've got my fan going. It's a little bit hot right now. But what you just saw was the reopening of Phantom Manor. Phantom Manor basically, how do I word this? It opened in 1992 in Disneyland Paris and then reopened in 2019 with a completely new overhaul. And I'll be playing a piece of music in the background for y'all. Yeah, I just said that's... I have a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? My ancestry has a little bit of roots going into the south. Good evening, Jonah. Please let people know that I am doing this streams but I'll get into the backstory of Phantom Manor and why I actually think that it's actually one of the best, if on par with the original Haunted Mansion. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna be playing this in the background. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it over the fan. So, Phantom Manor was, it actually started off all the way back in the 1950s, and it started off as a little sketch called Church Graveyard Haunted House. Basically, there was a nice little Victorian-style church in the town square. They had their little graveyard, but up on the hill was the old house. Now, back then, this was to be for Mickey Mouse Park, which was a small-scale park that was supposed to be across the way for Walt Disney Studio back in the day. But that idea fell through, and for a while we didn't get a really cool-looking Haunted Mansion. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the original one looks cool. The one in Florida and the one in Tokyo both look really creepy on the outside. But this one in Disneyland Paris, it had something different going for it. While even though the ones in California, Florida, and Tokyo are supposed to look creepy on the outside, they're also supposed to have a relative cleanliness factor to the exterior. Disneyland Paris' Phantom Manor, on the other hand, well, it looks completely ransacked. It looks dilapidated. It looks decrepit. Basically, think of any word that associates falling apart, and you've got Phantom Manor. What's also a little bit ironic about this one is Walt Disney had always said, we'll take care of the outside and the ghosts take care of the inside. However, in this case, it goes against what Walt Disney wanted, where he wanted a nice looking exterior. The Imagineers in this case really wanted to convey that this hasn't been touched, the mansion or Phantom Manor hasn't been touched in a long, long time. Like, it is old, it is dilapidated, it's falling apart basically at the seams. And when Disneyland Paris was first being kind of thought up in 1984, the French and by extent the Europeans weren't too thrilled about having a Disneyland at first. They were just like, oh, it's another Disneyland, and it's going to be, it's not going to be great. It's probably going to be really stupid. But then what the Imagineers did, and I'm so glad they did, was they started toying around with what the Europeans and whatnot, what they really liked. And as it turns out, it's also something shared with the Japanese, is they really like the Old West. And the Old West is something that neither Japan or Europe have. And I mentioned this in a video that I'll link after the live stream is over, because I actually did a whole review on the attraction. So I guess in a way I'm doing it again, but just doing it properly, or like my thoughts on it. So the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland Paris is now placed into Frontierland because, as I said in this particular video 3 years ago, a Main Street Haunted Mansion just sounded a little odd because, you know, it would be the only attraction, so to speak. A Fantasyland haunted house would work in Japan, but it wouldn't work in Europe. And a futuristic haunted house just sounds completely stupid. You know, one in Toontown, if Disneyland Paris had a Toontown, wouldn't work either. So the only place that worked is Frontierland, and Frontierland at Disneyland Paris is twice as large as the one out here in California. And here's another really cool part to the. Let me show you the exterior of the house. And I don't need to share audio, thank goodness. So what you're looking at is the exterior of Phantom Manor, and basically, and I'll say that verbal disclaimer one more time. I'm only using these pictures and potential videos for entertainment purposes only. All footage, all photographs go to their original and respective owners. I'll put the copyright disclaimer in the description too, so I'm just doing the verbal bit. But this is towards the evening, and don't tell me that this just has a foreboding look to it. Like look at the trees there. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but look at this tree right here and this tree right here. They're bare. They're really ugly looking, and they're dead. You know, this just has this you're in for a rough night kind of a feel to it, you know? It just, again, has a foreboding look. And the fact that, the other thing that I love about this particular Haunted Mansion out in France, yes, it's in France, as I've mentioned, it rains, and when it rains or when it snows, it just gives it the all-around, you know, and it's a little bit of a cliche, but I don't mind, of it's raining, and this house here is the only shelter you'll find. And unfortunately, the house is haunted, but you're going to have to stay in there until the storm passes. And I love how eerie the lights look. I think they even flicker. Like, if you walk in there, and I've been on this ride before. I'll explain why I like it so much. The lights flicker. They don't stay constantly lit. They'll flicker, and I think every now and then they'll actually go out. At least maybe after 2019 they'll go out. But, yeah, these lights are really, they flicker. And what's cool about the house itself on the outside is you can see stuff moving in the windows, which is so cool. The shutters, like, the shutters that are barely hanging on, they'll start, like, swinging on their own. Like, the Imagineers went almost full out with prepping you just from sheer ambience alone that you're in for one heck of a ride. But enough about the exterior. I'm going to probably show stills of the interior if I can, or use exterior stuff. But back to a quick little, to wrap up the history of Phantom Manor. Phantom Manor utilizes a lot of Old West stuff, and for the ghost host, they actually got Vincent Price, of all people, yes, the master of horror, to do the ghost host lines. Now, what's a little funny about him is I think he died a couple years afterwards. I think he died in the mid-90s or something. And they got a French actor, and, you know, I tried to do my best with French. And I think his name is, like, his name is, or was, I don't know if they got rid of him, or if they just replaced him. But the guy who took over for the ghost host in French, his name was Gérard Xavier. I think that's his name, and I'm sorry if I botched his name. I speak Spanish, so French to me, it's a little like Spanish in terms of verbiage. But Gerard was the replacement ghost host up until 2019. And then what they did was they did a blend of Vincent Price, the French ghost host, and I think maybe a third voice actor, but I can't rightfully remember. The 2019 new stuff is really cool. And I'll show that off here in a minute. I might do a little bit of, like, I'll show a couple things of what's changed. But other than that, I'm going to talk about why in a little bit, I'll talk about why I happen to like this ride. It's on par with the original Haunted Mansion. So let's get into it. I'm going to stop the music, and I have to find the video. 1 second here. Okay. Let me just double check, see if I can use this. I'm going ahead and say it, and I'm going to be using a video by the YouTube user DLP Welcome, which I believe is Disneyland Paris Welcome. I'm gonna show the footage that they filmed of the foyer, because the foyer has a completely different look. So giving him, well, let's see. Yeah, this will work. And with the fact that this reopened, yeah, give me 1 second. This is like a soft reopening, which is really cool. Let me just get to the good part here. All right, so get rid of that. It looks like there's 2 people watching, but let other people know that I'm doing this. All right, share screen. We do this, Chrome tab, share audio. All right, here we go.
Mais vous avez si bien fait de venir. Vous avez si bien fait. Ils font du bruit, mais vous ne les entendez pas.
Wish I knew what he was saying.
Est-ce que vous avez donné vos mensurations?
Again, this is by, you can see it in the bottom left corner, this is by DLP Welcome.
Pas trop de temps. Ma seule inquiétude, c'est qu'il n'est pas assez de cercueils. Mais ça se fabrique, ne vous inquiétez pas.
I wish you would speak English, just a little bit of English. There's the bride, and that's like something you would see in like Knott's Berry Farm or something.
Entrez, mesdames et messieurs, c'est votre pas enfer, paradis.
But this is like for the 2019 reopening, which is really cool. So when I was there, that mirror right there was completely different. And let me stop it real quick. But you just heard Vincent Price. This right here used to be, I don't know if you could see my mouse, but this used to be a mirror. And it was like one of those little, I think, it wasn't Pepper's ghost illusion, but there's a face of the bride, Melaine Ravenwood, that would appear. But now watch what happens in the foyer, because this is so cool. You know what, I might as well do a little video commentary over this. And you see the lights are flickering. It looks so cool. Now watch what happens, because I've seen this. I want you to watch for yourself. You can hear the English to French narration.
Nous sommes ravis de vous accueillir, humble mortel, dans ce mystérieux manoir. You may not believe it, but beauty once lived in this house. Photo Manor a connu des jours heureux, mais les temps ont changé. Now, curious souls, come, I have more to show you.
Now that was a cool effect. I don't know how they pulled it off, but that was amazing. The stretching room really doesn't change all that much, aside from the paintings, I'll say that, so I'm going to skip ahead. One thing that I just noticed, and yes, I skipped over the whole stretching room bit, if you look at the ceiling, it's a little hard to make out, but it has the same pattern as the other Haunted Mansions, excluding Mystic Manor. Mystic Manor, I might talk about that in a future live stream, but yeah. Right now, I'm just talking, I don't remember, okay, Comrade Thomas, I don't remember Victor Tantic talking about Phantom Manor. I'm not sure if he mentioned that, but if he did, that's awesome. But you could barely make out yeah, you could kind of see it right here. You can see it looks like the one in California or Florida. In Japan for that thing. But again, you can see right here, the paintings are brand new. And up there, you can see like the glowing red eye of the Phantom. It looks a whole lot better, basically. Yeah, you can see right there, it just looks so much better. Here's the portrait corridor. On the left used to be I remember this, 2011 on the left-hand side over here, if you can see my mouse, used to be where the windows were, where the lightning flashed, but now it's a full-fledged portrait corridor is here. And you can see there's Henry Ravenswood. When the lightning flashes, somehow he turns into that. But you can see it still has some references to the original mansion, which is really cool. I don't know how they pulled this off, but this is so cool. Yeah, when I first went in here in 2011, these were windows. I remember this. Oh, I like this one. It's like, no, you're gonna die. Now that was still there, Mullane Ravenswood, right there. Now this part here looks, yeah, there's the ending there. I thought that thing was swinging for a second. But right here, you see right there? This is what I wish was implied at California. I really do. Is for something like this as a backdrop to the Doom buggies, which are right here, something like this just looks better instead of this weird empty black space like in the original mansion. Let's skip ahead a little. Let's see what else has changed since I was last there. Let's see. Is Mullane? Yes, Mullane Ravens. Oh, the Phantom's down there too, so you can see that the struggle is real. Now the corridor of doors, like I mentioned in my last live stream regarding the Haunted Mansion, this right here is the conservatory. Right here is the conservatory for California, Florida, and Tokyo. Here it's a full new room, the music room, which actually is pretty cool. Now here it's Universal. It's the corridor of doors, albeit much darker. This is a little bit darker than the ones in California, Florida, or Tokyo. But it's pretty much identical to the one in. Although that's cool, they implied the Florida idea of the wallpaper blinking every now and then, which is a real nice touch. Seance Room, it's a little different. It foreshadows a wedding party. And I will say this regarding the whole concept behind this is, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention. Yeah, it was Victor Tanzig, and I might as well say it. In the short spinoff, I helped make that short. I might as well say that. That was when I mentioned my whole Stories in the States series that I'm working on. And yes, before you ask, it's still going. It's just school happened and all that for some of the people that are filming it. And don't worry, I'll learn to film. It's just I need to find the time and a better computer so I can start filming and all that. So, yeah. I did mention Phantom Manor in the Stories of the Sodor Short spinoff. So, yeah. Oh, hi, James. I did not know you were in the chat. But now I know. Anyway, yeah, so I did mention that in Sodor Short spinoff. That's also where SP4449 Fan 1 was Percy. But getting to the little point here, Phantom Manor was based also off this whole supernatural wedding taking place. And that idea had been around since like the 50s. And now that it's like fully implemented, it's really cool. So Madame Leota here, she's just foreshadowing the doomed wedding party. One thing you'll notice though, it's a proper seance room. There's no giant like thing, like wall behind her, nor a giant book or anything. Oh, this is the bad one. This is the bad ballroom. If your ears don't deceive you, they use the original ballroom music from the California Haunted Mansion, and it took away the awesomeness just for a little bit of Phantom Manor. And so many fans are like, bring back the original ballroom music for Phantom Manor. And thankfully, Disneyland Paris did just that. But one thing I remember is where my mouse is. This is where the Phantom used to stand. He used to stand right up here, and now he's moved over to here. And I think the dueling goes, like where this painting is of Phantom Manor before it fell apart, it was right, it's right here. But I think the dueling ghosts were still there. But you also notice that all the ghosts down here, they're dressed in Old West attire because this is set in the 19th century. There's the Phantom there. You can see his evil, cliched red eyes. But yeah, he used to stand in this window over here. Now he's moved over here. But yeah, with the music, they switched it for some reason to the original ballroom music, and the backlash was so overwhelming to where Disney's like, okay, we made a mistake. Let's fix it. Because it just takes away from the moment, you know? It sounds a little silly, honestly. This is supposed to be the dark incarnation of the mansion, and when you throw in the whole ballroom bit, it sounds kind of cheesy, honestly. But this is where it changes. I'll say it one more time. This video belongs to DLP Welcome. I'm only using it for entertainment purposes only. So I'm not trying to make profits or anything. This is just for fun. But this is where it changes. In the original Haunted Mansion, this would be the attic. Now we're in the bride's boudoir or something, or boudoir. I don't know how to say it. Oh, that changed. This originally was a skull. Like, it was misty and there was a skull in here. But I don't know why it changed, unless she looks different. But here's a proper animatronic of the Phantom. His laugh is still by Vincent Price, but you could clearly see his evil eyes. And this is where you would fall out of the attic down into the graveyard in the original. But you can see that animatronic just moves and sounds better. There's an evil go-go. He had red eyes in there when I was there, but now he's got green eyes. Oh my god, green eyes! Yes! Worst animatronic ever! Ah! I got that from Sonic Pocket Adventure with the Great Point. But this scene here, this is the catacombs. All the dead are coming out from their coffins. I'm going to rewind it real quick, because when I saw this guy here, I couldn't tell if he was just like, bruh, or trying to get out of his casket. But he looks like he's having a bruh moment, because there's this person above him. But yeah, this is, in the original, this is when you'd be falling into the graveyard. Here you're falling into the catacombs. You see all kinds of spooks and skeletons coming at you. But you can't go wrong with these guys. Also, that's the first time in a while I've heard these guys synced up with the music, because usually it's off for some reason. That guy, the guy playing the xylophones, even though it's a bunch of skulls, he's just having a good old time. And he looks kind of derpy. Now, this is where the graveyard would be. And this guy here, they'll spin, the Doom Buggy will spin him in a second. That guy looks creepy. And if your ears don't deceive you, if you have Disney ears, that guy there is Paul Frees. Let's see. Hold on, James. I'll give you a link, because yes. 1 second. Let's see. That. And okay, so I got two people ready to join. But if your Disney ears didn't deceive you just then, this is Paul Frees's character in Phantom Manor. They basically just recycle his lines to where he'll say like some of this stuff from the Haunted Mansion. And this whole scene right here is basically the graveyard. Oh yeah, I gotta add this person. Hello there. You're not scary. Go away.
I know I'm not. I was trying to be funny.
I know that.
Well, no, you didn't, because you assumed I was trying to be scary, dumb.
Anyway, I was talking about Phantom. You know, I've been talking about Phantom Manor for quite some time. Okay, there we go. Hey, Jonah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing tonight?
Your laugh sounds a lot like Thomas 1 Edward 2 Henry 3 from time to time. I mean that in a good way. But anyway,
Yes.
And all my siblings are dead,
Hello.
I think.
Okay, so I'm finishing up like a little kind of quick ride through. Again, this is by DLP Welcome, so I'm using this for funds only, just for fun stuff. I'm not trying to use this for profit, just for fun.
We are in no way making any money off this, so YouTube, don't be a robot.
Yeah, I'm just here to have fun. Stop yelling at me! Anyway, this whole scene here, and I'll turn it down a little more. This
gives Ghost Town a whole new meaning.
Well, this actually replaced the graveyard scene in the original Haunted Mansion. I don't know why everyone's green. Maybe they have radiation poisoning.
I don't know either, man. Oh, fun fact about the mayor in the town scene earlier.
Yeah.
He actually uses the same face mold as the Dream Finder from the Journey into Imagination ride at Epcot. Easily one of my favorites.
Wait, let me go back to him. Let's see. Oh, there's Ezra, but before he died. That one of the hitchhiking ghosts. It's the same model, but with skin. Yeah, there he is.
Ooh, Depot.
Yes, he uses the same face mold as the Dream Finder from the Journey into Imagination ride at Epcot. A very classic ride. Sadly, it is long since gone.
Well, I mean, that's nice that they at least reference that. Also, look at what he's holding.
I mean, since when did any Disney ride last longer than a few years?
The train lasted for like...
Aside from popular ones like Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion.
Oh, yeah, true.
The railroad's been there for...
Oh, yeah, the People Mover. That thing was...
I loved that ride. I wanted to go on that ride before it became Big Thunder Mountain.
That was the mine train through Nature's Wonderland, I thought.
Hey, for me, the one that I wish had stuck around longer was Tower of Terror. You'll never get me to change my mind that Guardians of the Galaxy is better. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout's a piece of shit.
Well, that's your opinion, and I'm going to respect that.
The movie is good, but the ride can do better. I mean, it could have just been something else instead of just replacing something that has been there for centuries.
Well, real quick, look what the mayor of the Phantom Canyon is holding. It's a literal skeleton key.
To the city.
Exactly.
Well,
and I like how when he tips his hat, his head follows. I find that kind of cool. But yeah, this whole scene here replaced the graveyard. And everyone's green for some reason. I guess a nuclear bomb went off or something? I don't know.
I guess they were trying to go for that dead zombie achievement look.
I don't know, but I liked this when I first saw it in 2011. The invisible guys playing poker. That's so cool. Now this here looks so much different from back in 2011. This, the previous model of the Phantom, he was like this literal, like you said, James, he's a literal zombie, and he's still pointing to that open coffin, but now he's got a different look, and it says, I can either put you in there, or you can put yourself in there with that noose, which is kind of dark for a Disney ride.
Let's try and see how the kids react to this. Yeah.
Yeah, kids like, Mommy, what's with the giant necktie? Don't ask.
Or they'd just be running, screaming, and crying.
Oh, that's cool. He kind of lunges at you, too. Did you see that?
It reminds me of this mechanic that used to live in the neighborhood once, actually. He built this hydraulic skeleton that he was going to have a feature where it blows fire out of its mouth, but it was against some kind of law.
Probably fire safety or fire.
So he changed it to where
Did somebody say skeleton face blowing fire out of its mouth? I've seen that.
Wait, Jonah, look at this. I don't know if you saw it, but this
I think
guy
he used to be an animatronic designer.
Yeah, he kind of lunges forward at you, which is kind of cool.
That is really cool, actually.
And then it actually changes to where now, this is where Melaine Ravenswood would be, like, back in the day, because she was covered up in, like, crystals and light and stuff. But now she's actually, I think she's gone completely, as JonTron said, 100% butt fucking sane. But now she's in the Doom Buggy.
Instead of the Phantom.
Yeah, which is really cool. I think she's just trying to find her groom, but at the same time, she's completely crazy.
Girl, you ain't never gonna find your groomer, Dave.
But yeah, that's the end of the. Well, they've rearranged this now to where it's more of an actual cellar, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I just wish something would
Actually,
pop
like
out
the
at you
decor.
behind
Who
those
is the
bars.
decorator? This is fabulous.
I just wish that something would pop out at you. Oh yeah, there's all the cast, and just like in the other mansions, you're not allowed to really smile unless it's for some sinister purpose, which I think is really cool.
Oh, and DJ,
Top
you also
hats
got
seemingly
you also
like
got the
something out
other
of
thing regarding.
steampunk.
Wait, what? There were two people talking at once.
Okay, James or whoever, you can talk first, and I'll.
No, I was just commenting on how the hats look like they could be steampunked if they actually took those top hats.
Well, the thing is that it's the 19th century, so it's like the 1800s and stuff.
The same age as Victorian times when steam technology actually was a thing.
That's true.
And Jonah, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, you got the other message I sent you, just letting you know about,
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so just when you do your audition, just do for whichever characters you want. Just do whatever words you can come up with.
Okay, let me play that music box again.
Oh yes.
So, okay, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but whatever. Anyway, so you guys have at least heard about Phantom Manor, right?
Not really.
I have, because I'm a Disney fan, obviously. So of course I have heard of Phantom Manor before, and it's a really cool attraction. It's just a really cool. Oh, are you leaving? Okay. But yeah,
Right,
I have.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
But yes, I have actually heard of Phantom Manor before. It is a legitimately cool attraction from what I have seen. And honestly, I hate the fact I've never gotten a chance to ride it. I've ridden the Haunted Mansion down in Florida, but just the concept of Phantom Manor, I can consider it the best of the Haunted Mansions at any of the Disney parks. It is obviously the most story heavy. It has got one of the. It's just, and I mean, come on, it is just freaking epic.
Right, and I mean, as I mentioned before you guys showed up here, the fact that they used the classic ballroom from the original mansion, and I guess by default Florida's, it kind of detracted from the whole cinematic feel. I think I can actually play that. Let me actually play that for you guys in the background. I only muted James because I heard someone else talking. No offense to him. Let's see. Let me check my chat. Let's see. 1 second. There we go. Okay, give me a second.
Oh, if I may make another comment, I also believe that Phantom Manor has easily the best soundtrack of any of the Disney Phantom Manor.
Actually,
of
really
any of the Haunted Mansions. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I've listened to the instrumental of it recently, and oh my goodness, it is beautiful.
Well, here's the crazy part. You want to hear a little bit of a crazy bit with that?
Oh, I'd love to.
The guy who did the music was the same guy that did the Iron Man soundtrack, John Debney.
Say what?
Exactly. Well, you didn't say it right. Say what?
Say what?
Hey,
How dare you? I think that came from a YouTube group. But anyway, here's the original ballroom music that they thankfully put back.
I did hear a barrel organ edition of this theme.
Let's see. That was from Damn M102. He uploaded the entire soundtrack of it. I would give it a good listen for anyone who's watching, or anyone who watches after this. Well, I don't mean to brag, but when I graduated from high school in 2011, my parents and we went out to Paris, and the funny thing is the day we were gonna go to Disneyland Paris, it was raining like crazy. So I looked at my parents and I'm like, you know what? As much as I'm a Disney diehard, let's go the next day. And they're like, okay. And they looked at each other like, that's a first. But we went the next day. It was still a little bit rainy, but it wasn't like torrential, which made the whole thing for Phantom Manor all the more awesome. You know, the cliche, it's raining and you have to find shelter, and there's that spooky house on the hill.
Of course.
You know what? It actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It reminds me of that Geico ad that's popped up recently. It's like, we need to go in the spooky house. No, let's get in the car with the full fuel. Are you crazy? No, let's go in the place with all the chainsaws. And there's Leatherface going like, crap. He just chases them out because they're idiots.
Leatherface is like, bruh.
It's like, yes. They didn't learn. Leatherface just looks at him like, they didn't learn the first time. Okay.
Oh, yeah, man.
I know people learn from horror movies.
Yeah, speaking of your experience at Disneyland, Paris, I myself actually went to the ghost train at Tweetsy last year, and it was raining, man. Like it, and it started out fairly light, but it got heavier and heavier as the day went on, as the evening went on. But I think it added a lot of atmosphere to the event. So, because it gives it a very.
Is this the same train or whatever that has a skull for a face and breathes fire like a dragon?
Yep.
What would I give for that one place I went to as a kid?
If I were to see the Tweetsy train and it had that, it would be like, fear me! And I'd be like, nope. But getting back to the big fat Manor, the exterior of that house actually got a little bit of inspiration from from two places, even though the book that accompanies the ride, it says that it got its inspiration from the 4th Ward School in Virginia City, Nevada. Let's see if I can pull that up. Hold on. I've been in that school. Do I hear cats? Oh yeah, it kind of does look like the Phantom Manor. You get a good picture. And I gotta make it bigger. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there we go. What?
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about this vine where Thomas Sanders uses his voice impressions to make Stitch. Oh, Hannah means family. Means no one's left behind it. Car screeches away. Gosh, what the fuck? Makes me laugh every time I think about it.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. So, I think I can see the second inspiration much more than the first. So, in the Haunted Mansion book, it says that the Phantom Manor was inspired by the 4th Ward School in Virginia City, Nevada. Okay, that's all good and dandy. There it is. That does look a little like the house. I can kind of see it through the top floor here, like the way the windows are designed.
Yeah, I do see that.
Although the entryway is a little more narrow.
Land.
But I could definitely see where they got the idea from there. But I think
there's a bit of a resemblance.
But I think the place that they got a lot, and I mean a lot of inspiration from is this one. And there's who this photo belongs to right there. Retro Rib Studio, Backlots and Ranches. But this looks more like the Phantom Manor, doesn't it? You know,
well, looking at the two houses together, I could see where they got their references.
But do you know which one this one is?
Oh.
It's the Psycho House.
As you guys probably know,
Oh, this is an insane asylum.
No, it's the one where Norman Bates kept his dead mama.
That's a bit dark.
Yeah, exactly. And Disney decided, what could be dark and scary? Let's use this house.
And there are some reports concerning about ghosts haunting the actual haunted mansion. There's ghosts in there.
Are you talking about it here in California?
I'm talking about this story about the mother who wanted to dump the ashes of her dead child somewhere in the haunted mansion or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
I heard about that.
Yeah, the haunted mansion is actually haunted.
Yeah, there's a couple ghosts in there. But back to Phantom Manor. The other thing that I found interesting about Phantom Manor was that's actually the French way of saying the haunted mansion, because I think what it is Phantom Manor roughly means the same thing in English and French, like Phantom Manor, Phantom Mansion, whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
If I have any French subscribers, please correct me.
Oh, speaking of which, did you know that Phantom Manor is actually the only haunted mansion with an actual death tied to it?
With an actual what?
Actual death tied to it.
Death to explain.
Okay, so I'm not exactly sure the whole story. Do you watch Offhand Disney?
Every now and then, yeah.
Yeah, I think he explained it in one of his videos, but he mentioned that one of the folks working backstage got electrocuted while working on Phantom Manor.
Oh
Which
yeah. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I thought you said something else. I'm like, wait, what? But yeah,
And I thought
someone.
the people riding was actually at risk.
Well, I forgot when that happened. Let me look that up, actually. There's Steve when the person done got zapped. Incidentes.
So
We
in a
use
sense,
Pikachu joke,
Phantom
but
Manor
it's
is the
overrated.
so in a sense, Phantom Manor is the only only one of the haunted mansions that's actually haunted.
Right, and it says here it was 2016 when that happened.
Huh.
4 years ago, someone died. Who would have thought? Well, in the one in Florida, it wasn't a death, but there was an injury in the Florida one. Some 70-year-old woman tried to get out of the doom buggy at the end, and she fell and broke her hip.
Well, that's not too bad.
True, but like I can only hear the old woman. If it was a little bit lower, scream out, "My leg!"
Well, I mean, sure it would hurt, but at least she didn't die.
You didn't get a joke.
Well, I would kind of get the joke at some reference, but that would kind of be rude.
True. Anyway, so final thoughts before I kill the stream. What am I looking at tomorrow?
So my personal thoughts: if you have not been to Disneyland Paris and cannot get to go see Phantom Manor, go watch a ride through of it. It is like a really cool attraction. If you can go though, I highly recommend you go because it is super cool. And honestly, I wish I could see it myself.
And being the person who wrote it 3 times in a row back in 2011, I can safely say I can concur with what Jonah said. If you can't get to France, and right now with this stupid virus that's ruined everything, watch a ride through of it. But for anyone that's any one of my European subscribers, because I'm pretty sure there's a few of you, if you get the chance to go to Disneyland Paris, I think it's open. I could be wrong. Ride it. It's definitely worth it because it's the darkest of the haunted mansions and totally worth it. Tomorrow, Jonah, I will be reviewing your hometown mansion, actually.
Oh, really? What might that be?
Florida. Yeah, the Florida Haunted Mansion. Only because it's got some different aesthetics to the one in California. And it's after the 2007 refurbishment, which is going to be fun.
Let us know if you actually find any ghosts on any attraction rides.
Oh, don't worry. Jonah and I probably will find it. We should probably call the Ghostbusters, though.
Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
They've been out of business for years.
Ha!
Doesn't mean we can start up our own little shop, so to speak.
Hey, that's what Ghostbusters 2016 and They did. They started their own Ghostbusters, even though we do not.
A new one coming out too. Well, it's a sequel to Ghostbusters 2, but they kind of start their
Surprisingly, one of the actors of the original was in that film.
I think most of the actors of the original was in that film, except for the guy who played Egon, because he passed away.
Yeah, Harold Ramis died in in 2014, so we didn't get a chance. But yeah, Bill,
Press
Dan,
F and Pat to pay respect.
So now, ironically,
yeah.
Harold Ramis is a ghost himself.
Yeah, why not just make him CG and have a voice dub for the new movie? Anyway, so with that in mind, we'll talk about Ghostbusters later this coming week. Let's see, what do I have that scheduled? So tomorrow I'll be talking about Walt Disney World, Disney World Haunted Mansion. Let's see, what have I got after that? Give me a second. Okay, so on the 16th of October, let's see, that would be this Friday. I'm going to be talking about the first Ghostbusters movie, and then the day after is going to be the sequel. In between then, so this coming Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about why Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 movie, absolutely sucks. And then the day
When any movie did not suck.
No, you said it wrong, but I'll say it in a second. Then the day after that, on October 14th, I'm going to be talking about two apps on the Google Play Store and I think on the App Store for iPhones. It's called Spirit Board and Ghost Radar. They are absolute shit. I'm not going to, they are not worth your money. And then also on October 15th, because horror sometimes has the gore involved, I'm talking about when is blood and guts too much?
When it shows to the point when someone explodes inside.
Well, I'm also going to be talking about Dead Alive, which I think was by Peter Jackson, on October 21st. And yes, I know that's an important Back to the Future day, but I'm going to be talking about something else that day. Dead Alive, that's one of the most gory horror movies ever.
That's too bad.
But it's also funny, which gives it a pass. But yeah, tomorrow I'll be talking about the Florida Haunted Mansion, then why Dawn of the Dead's remake absolutely sucks, and then why Spirit Board and Ghost Radar suck on your phones. Also,
That's why most people don't even use apps.
Yeah. Next Sunday, though, I'll be talking about why I think Apollo 18 is the best found footage movie by far. So if you guys haven't seen that movie, I would suggest seeing it. Anywho, that's all I got for today's thing. Phantom Manor is probably the best of the Haunted Mansions, but I would say it's on par here with the one in California. But I am NG5, and these are, well, you see their names, but they should say their name anyway.
This is MT150, aka Megatrain 150, and I will see you guys later, or sometime later on in the week. It doesn't really matter. Subscribe!
And this is Jonas. And this is Jonas Snyder, aka Tweetsy12, and I guess I'll see y'all next time. Good night. Oh, and enjoy what's left of 2020.
So, yep, there they go. And it was really awesome having those two guys hanging out and all that. Sorry, my sinuses are acting up right now, but I'm NG5, and tomorrow, yeah, we'll be looking at the Walt Disney World Haunted Mansion, what makes it cool. I might reference a little bit of the Tokyo Disneyland Haunted Mansion. Now that I think about it, I should probably talk about Mystic Manor, too. It fits into the bill. Yeah, I might as well do that, actually, because I'm going to be talking... I did talk about the Japanese Tower of Terror a couple days ago, which was good in its own right. Anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, and stay healthy. And last time I'll say this, all the photos and videos you saw belong to their respective owners. They were used for entertainment purposes only. Blah, 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 blah.